Hey, student, how are you? Welcome to our session on linear equations, graphs, and systems review. We're going to go through 14 problems. You can always pause the video and try them before we go through them. All right, here we go. Number 1, solving an equation. We're going to start by distributing -5. Distribute, multiply, -5. -15x. -5 times -2, +10. And then we'll combine like terms, 4 plus 10. And then let's add 15x and bring it over to the other side of the equal sign. And we're left with 14 is equal to 20x minus 6. And we'll add 6. 20 is equal to 20x. Divide by 20. Divide by 20. And 20 divided by 20 is 1. We get x equals 1 for our final solution. You can always check this by substituting it back into the original equation. Number 2. Number 2, let's find the x and y intercepts of this graph. All right, starting with the x-intercept. The x-intercept is on the x-axis. And our x-intercept is 5, 0, x-intercept. The y-intercept is on the y-axis, where the line crosses the y-axis. And we get 0, 3 for the y-intercept. Moving on. Number 3, write the equation of this line in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So first, let's start with the slope m. And since we were given a graph, you could just count up 2 and to the right 3. Up 2 and to the right 3. Rise over run. So our slope is 2/3. You could also find it using 2 points. Let me use 0, 1 and 3, 3, and we'll find the slope using the formula. We'll start with subtracting the y values. Subtracting the y values, they go on top. And then we'll do the x values on the bottom. And you see we get the same slope using the formula, 2/3. And then they gave us the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis, and our y-intercept, b, is 1. So we can write our equation, y equals 2/3 x plus 1. And that is our equation of this line. Moving on. Number 4, we're going to write the equation of this line in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Let's go ahead and find the slope, m, and we'll use the 2 points that we have here. We'll subtract the y values. They go on top, -3 minus 1. And the x values we'll subtract. They go on the bottom. And we get -4 over +1, which is just -4. Our slope m is -4. You could also count, let's see, down 4 and to the right 1. Down 4 is -4, right 1 is +1. So you could find it using the graph as well. And once again, they gave us the y-intercept. The y-intercept is b, and that is -3. So we can write our equation, y equals m is -4, x plus b, b is -3. And there is our equation of this line. Moving on. Horizontal and vertical lines. Horizontal line goes left and right. Let's see, this is y equals 3. So our equation is y equals 3. Y equals a number is the equation of a horizontal line. And then the slope is 0 since it is flat. A vertical line. This vertical line is going through x equals -5. So our vertical line equation, x equals a number, -5. And then the slope of a vertical line is undefined. It is so steep, it is undefined. Moving on. Number 6, writing the equation of a line in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, given 2 points. All right, let's start by finding the slope. We'll subtract the y values, they go on top. Subtract the y values, and then we'll subtract the x values, they go on the bottom. And let's see, we get -4 over 8, which reduces to -1/2. So our slope m is -1/2. So we can substitute -1/2 into our equation. Now, we're going to use the point. Let's use 6, 1, and we'll substitute x equals 6 and y equals 1, and we'll solve for the y-intercept. They didn't give us the y-intercept this time. All right, so substituting 1 in for y, -1/2 is our slope. 6 goes in for x, and we are solving for b, since they did not give us b, the y-intercept. We'll multiply -1/2 times 6, -3. Then we'll add 3, and we get 4 for b. So our equation, y equals mx plus b, y equals -1/2 x plus 4. Moving on. All right, we are halfway through. Number 7, graphing a line. This line is given to us in the form y equals mx plus b. M, our slope is 3, and we can put 3 over 1 so that we have our rise over our run up and right. B is -5, our y-intercept, 0, -5. We're going to start with the y-intercept, starting at -5. And then we'll use our slope up 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. And this will give us the second point on our line. We can do it again, up 1, 2, 3, to the right 1. Or you could go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the left 1. Down and left. Down and left, 2 negatives will make a positive slope. Positive slope. And then we can draw our line by connecting those points. Moving on. Number 8, graphing a line. This line is given to us in standard form. When you see standard form, you want to think intercepts if you can. And to find the x-intercept, we'll sub in 0 for y. So 3x plus 4 times 0 equals 24. We get 3x equals 24. And our x-intercept is 8, 0. And then we'll do the y-intercept. This is when x is equal to 0. So we'll substitute 0 in for x. We get 4y equals 24. Our y-intercept is 6, 0, 6. And then with these 2 points, 8 is our x-intercept, 6 is our y-intercept, and we can graph our line connecting those 2 points. Let me try that again. There we go. Here's our line. So standard form, you want to think intercepts. Number 9, point slope form, given the slope and a point. Point slope form is y minus y1 equals m, your slope, times x minus x sub 1. And we have x1 and y1. And we also have m, our slope. So we can just substitute the values into our equation. Y minus y1 is 7. Our slope m is 2, parentheses x minus negative 5. And then you could simplify minus negative 5, x plus 5. And here is our point slope form of our linear equation. Converting to y equals mx plus b. Number A. We're going to start to convert into y equals mx plus b. We're going to distribute 3 into the parentheses. Minus 4, 3x minus 21. And then we'll add 4, bring that over to the other side, and we'll get our y equals mx plus b form. Y equals 3x negative 21 plus 4. We get negative 17. And now we can see that the slope is 3 and our y-intercept is negative 17. And then b, converting to y equals mx plus b. We want to get y by itself. So we'll subtract 5x, bring it over to the other side of our equal sign. I'm going to put minus 5x and then plus 8 just so that you can clearly see y equals mx plus b. And then we're going to divide everything by 2. Divide by 2. Negative 5 divided by 2, negative 5 halves, x. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. Here is this equation in slope-intercept form. And now you can clearly see that the slope is negative 5 halves and your y-intercept is 4. Moving on. Taking a look at systems of equations, let's test this point and see if it is a solution to either one of these systems of equations. It has to work for both. So we'll start by substituting 6 in for x, negative 7 goes in for y, and we see that we do get 13 equals 13. It's got to work for both, so let's try it in the second equation. Substituting negative 7 in for y. And let's see, we get 10 is equal to 10. Yes, since this works for both, this is a solution to this system of equations. This is the point where the 2 lines cross. And then let's try choice B over here. We'll see if it works. We get 6 times, we're substituting 6 in for x, minus 7 times, we're substituting negative 7 in for y. And let's see here, we get 36 plus 49 is equal to 1. I don't think so. 85 is not equal to 1. So no, not a solution to this system. It only works for this system. Moving on. Solving a system by graphing, we'll start with the first system, or the first equation. And this is in y equals mx plus b form. So our slope is 1, up 1, right 1. And then our y-intercept is 0, 3. So we'll graph our first line, 0, up 1, 2, 3. And then our y-intercept, oh, sorry, -3. -3. Slope is 1, y-intercept is -3, -3. And we'll go down 3, -3. And then our slope 1, we can go up 1 and to the right 1. Rise over run. Up 1 to the right 1. Up 1 to the right 1. We'll do that a couple times. So 1, right 1. You can always go down and left. Down and left are two negative directions. Down and left will give you a positively sloped line. All right, so there is our first line. And the second line, we'll do it in pink. We've got 4x plus y is equal to 2. Now, this is in standard form. However, if I substitute 0 in for y, I am going to get a fraction for the x-intercept, and that's going to be difficult to graph. So I'm actually going to solve this equation, get it into y equals mx plus b. I'm going to subtract 4x and bring it over to the other side. Now I have my y-intercept at 2 and my slope -4. And slope of -4, we can go down and right, or +4 over -1, and we could go up and left. Now we'll finish graphing our second line, starting with our y-intercept at +2. And then our slope, let's go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 1. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 1. And we see that these two lines do cross at this point right here. And let's see, this point is 1, -2. Our point of intersection. That is our solution, 1, -2. Moving on. And we'll solve a system using substitution. I see that the top equation, we can easily solve for x. I can subtract 7y, bring it over to the other side of the equal sign, and I get x is equal to -7y. Now this is useful because we can, oh, I forgot my y, 7y. Now this is useful because we can now substitute -7y into the second equation for x. Replace x with -7y. That is our substitution step. -7y goes in for x. And now we have all the y variables. We can solve this equation for y. -14 -8, we get -22y equals 22. And we'll divide by -22, and we get -1 for y. Now we are not finished. We have to find the x value for our point of intersection. So we will sub y equals -1 back in to one of the original equations. Let's use the top equation. It's a little bit shorter. And substituting -1 in for y, solve for x. And we'll add 7. And we get x is 7. 7, -1 is our solution. The point solution, our point of intersection. And the last one, we'll solve a system using elimination, adding or subtracting the two equations together to get one of the variables to eliminate. I don't see anything that we could eliminate as is. So I'm going to start by multiplying the top equation by 2, both sides. You'll see we now get 16x minus 12y is equal to negative 40. Now we can take the second equation, negative 16, we'll put it underneath here. And then when we add these two equations together, you'll see that the x variables will cancel out. And we'll add the two equations together. And we see that these will cancel out. 16 plus negative 16 is 0. And we'll add the rest of them. Negative 12 plus 7. We get negative 5y and equals negative 10. Divide by negative 5. And we get y is negative 2. Now we're not finished. We need to substitute back in to find the x value. I'm going to use the top equation, 8x minus 6y equals negative 20. And we'll substitute 2 back in to solve for the x value. Minus 12 equals negative 20. We'll add 12 to negative 20. Negative 20 plus 12, negative 8. And we'll divide by 8. And we get negative 1. Negative 1 comma 2 is our point of intersection, our solution to the system. Thanks so much for joining this session, and I'll see you next time.